And welcome back to another video.
Yeah, we have the finals of our sealed event today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yours truly.
You?
Yeah, that's me with the white hoodie. Actually, I'm actually wearing the same one right now.
Yeah, that's true.
It looks a little bit less white today, though. Maybe it's time to do some...
Is that a foil savior I see on the playmats?
The right, like the one that I'm... No.
No, okay.
It's regular savior. I have to say, I did open, obviously, you have to play with what you open in Sealed, of course. That's how it works. And I opened the Savior, and immediately, I think we spoke about it in the first two games, or whatever, one of them. The Savior is insane in Limited, draft or Sealed, or even the Precons, because there's much less removal, much less card draw, and it kind of forces a 2-for-1 situation for your opponent almost every time. So it puts you at a really big advantage. Cards really matter in this format. So I don't think it's as too much.
Oh yeah, you played Blessed well. Did you get to ward?
The ward again? Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
every time. I think this happened in our precons too.
You forgot to ward it. Yeah, I remember.
It's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible. I keep thinking that card is the double water. The art is quite different. It's a lot darker for the double water one. But no, I like to create a challenge for myself. That's what it is.
Okay, yeah.
It's not about forgetfulness.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so, anyway, so this is Marco playing against me. He's playing the Harbinger, so you can see he rolled 5, 10, and 17. So he's coming up. He can come right next to my face, actually. It's quite scary. So that card that I played, Survivors or something? Survivor or something?
Yeah.
Basically what it says is that if it's not nearby an enemy, it gains stealth.
Okay.
So I like that card quite a bit because if I give it a ward also, it's like a stealth ward minion. It's really hard to deal with. This was a big punish for Marco.
This Heretics of Seth, just like stealing a ward.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And also 3 cost 3 power.
Although congrats to Marco for actually remembering to ward his thing. Yeah.
It's good to read your cards, folks. Read your cards. I want to point out, and I don't know if this is common.
Ooh, you got a key to the city. Nice.
City. That's a good ramp for him, especially with his Harbinger's ability, which naturally pseudo ramps. But look at how I built my sites this game. I think I want to put a lot of focus on the way you're going to see me build my sites. I built my sites the exact same way in every game I played that night, and it was just amazing. I was the only one that really had a way in. The opponents didn't. I wasn't just giving them 14 and 12 to be able to attack into.
Okay.
And with my ward, it made it very hard. I was basically funneling them into my warded minions. So it was...
okay. So that was your game plan to... Search Party... I guess it's okay. I mean, for Sealed, if you draw maybe 2 or 3 in your packs, it's an ordinary, so the odds of getting them are pretty high.
Yeah, pretty high, yeah. I think if you can get 2 is probably okay. You're bound to see them. If you can get 3, then obviously I think it's an easy... But look at what just happened, right, with what I'm talking about with the Savior. That our units should have traded, and it's going to be very hard for Marco to now kill my 3-power thing and deal with my next threat, right? Maybe in Constructed you can just Poison Nova or Earthquake or whatever, or Atlantean Fate. Something is coming that you can catch up on being so behind on board. Here it's if he doesn't play a 4-power guy, he's in trouble, right?
I love the art Crawler.
Yeah. So Crawler, you'll see I actually took back a card and put the Crawler instead because it's only turn 3. I don't have the mana to also ward. So I figured let me play my Undead since he can't be warded anyways. Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, which is why I think I didn't play a Sight either, right? It was the Sight that I took back.
That's why I like with Savior, you ward your minions, but it's costing 1. So it feels sometimes a little slower, but the reward for doing so sometimes could be, having that minion out there for 1 extra turn sometimes could be more beneficial than just getting the minion out 1 turn quicker, depending on the play style of the deck. But I feel like Savior decks, you kind of feels like that kind of mid-range where you're not being super aggressive, you're not being super controlling, you're just trying to hold the board state and then just overpower them with the wards. Then when the tides turn, then you could start to really be the aggressor later on. That's what I
Yeah.
felt like playing with when I was playing with Savior.
The precons there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like early game it wasn't doing so well, but like later on, it was performing really well with.
See, like I remember one of the questions that I asked when we were doing our precons was, the unboxing. I mean, it was like, is it good to play Saracen Raider on turn 5 if it means it's getting a ward? Like, are you happy to delay all your aggression if you play an aggro deck with Savior just to give it the ward? Like, I wonder if that works or not. So Moss Troll is nice just because it can be warded.
It kind of
It's like a monster,
sucks that it loses stealth when it moves, though. That's
yes, but I found so yes, you're absolutely correct. But I did find as I was playing Savior all night that I was being more defensive in the first 3, 4, 5, 8 turns. So being defensive and having a stealth warded minion was good for me because they couldn't just take it off the board. So if they wanted to come, look, you see, like I didn't move with my crawler, I didn't move with my
but that's what I'm saying. Like Savior, it feels like it
starts off
slow, but
yeah.
you get that board state, and it's really hard for your opponent to try to get in.
Yeah, but also you see again, like look at my site placements, right? Like Marco's going to come into me, and I'm giving him nothing. If he wants to attack me, he's going to have to play into my territory, which is not recommended in my opinion in sealed, unless you're already winning, in which case you're just kind of advancing that. And he's going to have to come into my zones that are heavily protected and quite narrow. It's like 300, right? In the movie 300?
Yeah.
Like that narrow passage that they forced the Persians to come into.
It's a great movie, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Looks like he's targeting your Moss.
No, he attacked the dudes there that steal the ward.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, so I just blocked with my troll too. Again, like look, it's insane because of the fact that now I've been able to attack and kill one of his things and then defend another one of my things without losing anything off the board, right?
Yeah.
So the other people that
sure.
played Savior that night we all had the same issue of we forgot about the evil. And like you can't ward evil. So a lot of the Savior people that night were actually playing decks with too many evil.
Too many evils, so it was not.
They couldn't abuse the ability like I was able to abuse it almost all night. I was putting so many. Now I remember in our first game we did have the issue of warding evil by accident because I'm saying everyone was like no one was thinking about it. So of course game 1 is a little bit skewed for that reason from my side. But from that one moving forward, we were warding correctly, and I was able to take an insane advantage of the warding.
Yeah, and actually, the Sorcery released the updated the rule books actually with the ward and so on. So it's
and the new thing with pickup, right?
With pickup, exactly. So a little bit more clarification to kind of I guess clean it up a little bit. So
basically, it's important to note that when you pick something up, you are targeting it. So if you have something like the boogeyman, they use as an example, the new card, the Bodak boogeyman. If you try to pick up an opponent's warded minion, the ward will break instead because it's targeting. So good to know.
Yeah, survivors of Savannah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Sarava.
I decided to attack left. I guess I wanted to draw out his. That's weird because I can't kill it over there. I also don't know if I wonder if there's any reason for that sequencing, like bring the frog. I don't remember. This was a couple of weeks ago. This was on December 6th. We played these games. Like, and also why kill with the crawler, but not. I guess the crawler I can understand taking evil off the board. Right? There's a lot of things in Gothic maybe that can deal with evil. Possibly.
Evil,
So maybe get the evil off the board and keep my human. But yeah, I wish I could remember why I wanted to bring. Or maybe I wanted to bring his frog over there, or whatever that thing is, so that he can't attack. Right? Same concept, right? Now, if he wants to attack, imagine if I had a sight on 12. Right? If 19 or 20 was placed on 12 and 14.
Yeah.
If I try to attack in that way, then he has a free attack on 12, essentially. Right? I can block with the survivors, but now he's in my space. He's on my site. Blah 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 blah. Now, if he wants to, he's got to move twice.
Yeah, so he's got to go to 12 and then into 13. So
it's most likely why if I think now that I'm thinking about it, most likely why I moved over to 7 to bring his blocker.
Okay.
His blocker turned attacker away.
Yeah, it's sealed versus constructed, like the site placement. a lot of the times when I tried to do that same approach, I felt like playing against you or other people, they would position their sites in such a way where they would like kind of try to block me off and prevent me from playing sites. So I guess in sealed, you're probably only playing like maybe 5 sites, 6 at most, so it's not as bad. But when you're playing decks that were like Archie or something that really wanted like 8 or 9 sites, that speaker, it was like I couldn't have that same kind of mindset of site placement you know.
Well, that's true too, right? Like if you want a lot of minions, then
like I couldn't go from 18 to, you know, I couldn't go from, if I went across, you know, 18, 17, then my opponent, especially at that time, like Druid would be like, you know, just straight line forward.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, there's also the fact of against aggressive decks. Like you don't want to let aggressive decks come into your territory, right?
Yeah. This card, Thumbscrews, I kind of like it.
Yeah, I mean, it puts an end to infinite combos, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They lose a life for the number, but I think so. Marco might found a way to stabilize the board and actually have more stats on it than I did, so that's good for him. So it's, I mean, like, right, you heard me say at the beginning of the game, I said if he doesn't play a 4-power minion, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. So he eventually found one, which helped him, you know, clear 2 of my things, and then his knight is bigger than my survivor, plus his burrowed rat or whatever. So, you know, he took the board, but I think if you saw, he dumped his whole hand to do so. He played the knight, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he has 6 mana. So yeah, he played the rat, the thumbscrew, and the penitent knight all in the same turn, and I think it dumped his whole hand. So he's got he's got nothing. Oh, nice. So here I was able to make a frog for 1, taking me to 4 mana, and then sack the frog to play this for 2 less. So I got myself a big boy.
Oh yeah,
which then allows me to attack on. Look at how the site placement is still relevant because of the fact that he played his site on 7 and 9. You know, my 12 and 14.
Yeah,
it let me at the crucial moment play something in front of his site and then attack to have a defender.
Okay,
right. Whereas like he never had this opportunity throughout the whole game. So I was really, really happy with the way I was playing sites all night. I did it in the first game just to see, and it worked out so well that I just mimicked it for the next 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, if it's working well, because I noticed a lot of the times that, myself included, but I notice when you play, you always like critique your own site placement, and you're always like, why did I play it here? I should have played it here. Why did you know? So I'm glad to hear that whatever you did the first game worked well for you the rest of the night. So I mean, maybe that's something you could maybe apply to your constructed decks as well. Yeah. Not every deck, but I mean certain playstyles of I don't know if that's something.
Well, I mean, as I've mentioned before, which I mean I tried to post about it on the Facebook group, that nobody seemed to really agree with me. I find that this game is very much like Go. I've mentioned in the past, like the board game Go. Yeah. And ever since I started playing that game, I've been approaching site placements totally differently in here. And I've even started referring to, you know, your 2 front rows as your territory, which is territory is the term we use in Go. Like I'm really seeing site placement totally differently, and I credit it all to Go. Like I really encourage people to even just spend 10 minutes reading up on the game and playing one game just to see what it's like to invade territories and place things appropriately, right? It's
okay. So you got the Rowdy Boys, rewarded it, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, more defense. Oh, so you see, Marco played his second search party, so he did have more than one. Good for him.
Yeah, no, that's good for sure. Is there one in his graveyard already? Well, I don't see.
He put it upside down underneath.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
Not to forget.
I think at some point I may take it away from him and be like, yeah, get this, just crowding the board. Just let's not. But whatever. That's minor. That's a minor.
You talk about Go so much. I wonder if you're secretly sponsored from them.
No.
You've been trying to get me to play that game for at least 2 months now.
Yeah. Well, you did mention at one point you went through a bit of a dry spell. I remember of like game losses. It was, we were trying to figure out what the heck is going on all of a sudden because it was never like that. And my suggestion was maybe the sites maybe you're interfering with your plan a little bit with how you play your sites.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could think of in the moment to suggest a way to improve that was what I had gone through, was to play Go. So it wasn't so much to play it, more as like, hey, see if it works for you the same way it worked for me, kind of thing, you know? Ooh, the Virgin and Prayer is so good because it, like again, in Constructed, we haven't really seen it that much, but in Sealed, it's so good because you can ward from anywhere. Like I don't have to keep harping on how good ward is in Sealed in limited format. So the fact that you can do this from anywhere on the board, it's really nice. And then it still is a blocker, right? Like, and see, again, I want to keep talking about the side placements. He invaded my territory from a position where maybe he thought he was ahead, but all it took was me playing one thing, and now look, I'm attacking freely on his site 12, right?
Yeah.
And if he wants to play on 7 to protect 12, he's just putting his things 2 spots away from attacking me, right? So yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why I'm pulled so hard to Sorcery in general, is because the site placement, forget about Go, forget about chess, like it's just a site placement is so crucial, and it changes everything. And we spoke about it too, right? Like sometimes I'll go off on tangents, and like the reason is because every decision you make has so many
for sure. Well, especially to do the new sites in Gothic, just trying to understand them and the site placements for certain ones really can change a lot. Like if you play City of Glass, you don't want to play it in the second row, you know? Just, you know,
like sites like maybe 19 and 20 are your best places.
Stuff like that. So definitely a lot to take in initially, because there's like at least 60, 70 sites,
something like that.
So it's a lot to take in. I mean, there's some generic ones, sure, but I mean, a lot of them have some pretty interesting effects though. I'd like
it's gotten much harder to fill your 30 sites because there's a lot of good ones.
There's a lot of good ones, and it's true. Like I find myself having a hard time picking and choosing which sites, because there's so many good sites now. Yeah. So
there's 92 in Gothic. I'm just looking at Curio. All that clicking.
92.
You might have heard some clicking. It was just me checking Curiosa. Yeah, I'm just loading. See, like, it also allows me to load my squares, my sites, knowing I can attack almost in any direction, right? Yeah, I was gonna say, hopefully I block with the survivors. Keep my 3 power guy alive, because don't forget the search party is a 4 power right now with
one in the graveyard.
It does start off as a 3 power, right?
Yeah, it's a 3 power. Then it gets +1 for every one in your cemetery. So
a friend of mine thinks there might be a curio hidden on this card, just because like there's a lot of details to look at.
Well, possibly
on the art of search party, but yeah, there are also a lot of people who are convinced that there's only 7 curios because of the 7 deadly sins and all these things. But
I mean, it could be as simple as like the ladder is like the opposite direction at the top part. It could just be from left to right versus right to left.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of curio, is like there's sometimes it's such the smallest thing, and people will miss it, and one day someone will catch it, and everyone will start checking their bulk piles and be like, wait.
I had to buy a massive like 5,000 count box because just all the Gothic we opened. But like it's just so much bulk that I can create care packages and just give to new players. But I just can't do it yet because we need more confirmation of curios before I just start giving all the bulk away, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, Lord of the...
I really like this card. I'm not gonna lie.
There's actually there's 2 reasons why I'm sitting in the finals right now. One of them is Savior warding everything, and the second one is this card. I played this card in every one of my games, and they ended almost on the spot. So hopefully it has the same impact on this game. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you could have 2 minions fight. I'm surprised the placement, honestly. I'm surprised you didn't play it on 13.
I didn't want him to attack with his undesirables and something else. I want to protect it.
Yeah, okay. It's true, you could move it in later and then have them fight.
Yeah. So here I had it fight against... what did I have it fight against? Did it fight against my Void Walk thing? Because technically speaking, shouldn't his search party have been a 4 power? So unless I missed something.
Yeah, we're talking so much about curios.
Yeah, but it's okay. Marco's good. Marco usually shames me for making mistakes, so I'm going to assume that nothing wrong happened there, and Marco
He rings
Marco
that bell
didn't
every
miss
time.
anything.
He's like, shame,
Yeah.
shame.
Yes.
He gives you. He makes it well aware. He makes you well aware of your mistakes.
Ooh, 10-ton slug. I think he needs to move his undesirables.
But that's the thing when I was like playing against Marco, especially like at the beginning when we first got into the game, like a lot of the times he'll let you make the mistake, and then when you do it, he'll say, "No, you should have done this, that. Now you're going to pay for it."
That's the better thing.
That's the better thing, and then you're just like, "Oh, okay, fine, yeah, that's fair." So then you learn from your mistakes. So,
So look at this filth, right? I can move the Lord of Lies to 13 now.
yeah,
Attack on 7, and then force the things to fight to kill, right? I can deal damage and force the fight. And also the best part about Lord of the Lies is you can target, you can use him. Like he can pick himself to fight. So you can enter into a zone.
are you sure it's not two separate?
No, I'm 100% sure.
Okay.
You can absolutely make
This is
him
you've checked.
yeah. Because when I was playing the card, I was like, is this is this real? Like, is this actually? So yeah, you can enter into a zone. You know, like I was saying, imagine if that frog was a 1 power, okay, and the undesirables was untapped. Like I'm creating a scenario here. So I attack into 7, we'll say, with my 6 power thing. Now you can block with your 5 power and your 1 power to trade.
Yeah.
However, because you have to build on separate sites now because of the Lord of Lies, they're not gonna be together. So I can just move into the zone of your 5 power, and even if you intercept, you're dying anyways because I'm a 6 power and you're a 5 power. So I'm preventing you from double blocking. I just move in, and now that I'm in, I can cause our guys to fight, and my guy's a 6 and your guy's a 5, and it's just free removal every turn. Like Lord of the Lies is dumb card.
Okay, because I thought you were saying that the minion could fight itself the way you were saying.
No,
okay, yeah.
You can choose. He can choose himself.
No, himself. Yeah, okay, himself.
Yeah,
Okay, because the way you were saying it, that's why I was like, "Are you sure?" Yeah, for sure. Okay, that makes more sense. Because like that's going to be a busted card.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a risky site placement from Marco to play on 11.
Yeah.
And also only protected with a 2 power minion. I'm not entirely sure why he did that. Like just playing it on 6 would have been fine. Like, I don't know if he wanted the blocker, but just the fact that I was already at 12 with both of those things meant I was going to easily kill his blocker and attack for 5 more. And like here, I'm happy for him to move into 12 because his undesirables can't even attack. And actually, I made a mistake because I forgot. It's not a big mistake. It's just I forgot that undesirables, your allies can't enter, so he can't even double block on this site with the undesirables. Right? Like they're stuck there by itself.
That's true.
So if I do come in with the Lord of the Lies, nothing's protecting that undesirables.
Yeah, you can't enter the site, huh?
No, I can. He can't. Like, its allies can't enter this site.
Oh, allies. Okay.
Yeah. I am pretty sure it's like just a worse Amazon Warriors. The only difference is that it has burrowing, so you can go underground. But, and I'm not trying to say that burrowing is irrelevant. Burrowing is a very strong ability.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know if I'm paying 1 more than Amazon Warriors for the same power with such a crazy drawback, right? That's wild. Allies can't enter this site. Now, in sealed and limited, okay, fine. It's a 5 power, which is, it's game-changing enough, but wow, is that ability bad?
So, opted to attack.
Yeah, he was warded.
Breaking, yeah. So, breaking, yeah. So, breaking away. So, that's what I mean. Like, the ward mechanic, I think, mid to late game, that's where it really shines. And otherwise, your minion would have died. Now, next turn, wonder what you're going to do with the Lord of Lies.
But this is what I'm talking about.
I wonder what's going to be your...
All I have to do is move into 8. I just move into 8. He can't... If he tries to intercept, his Shoggoth dies. And I don't attack, but I just cause the Lord of the Lies to fight the Shoggoth, and it dies. That's why this card is so dumb. Like, Lord of the Lies in sealed or limited, draft, whatever you want to say. It's just dumb. Like, he can't do anything. And I just keep attacking. Look at that. He's on death's door on 11. He cannot block.
Okay.
And like
he's not. Is he on that store? No, he's on 4.
He's at 4. But I'm saying like I can attack for a shit ton on.
Oh yeah. Next
11.
turn, yeah.
Oh yeah. See, now I can attack okay, so I'm doing it this way instead. I'm attacking the 10-ton slug, and then I'm causing those 2 guys to fight.
But wouldn't your Lord of Lies die at that point?
No. I'm causing the weathered trunks.
Oh, the weathered trunks. Okay.
Yeah. So
Breaking
attack for 3 with the Revenant, and then it only has 4 health left, and then my trunks has 4 power to finish it off, and then just break its ward. But that's totally okay. Yeah. So Doryu, and then I'm gonna move.
Yeah, so going back to talking a little bit about Marco, I think in the past year I've been playing with him, I think I've only ever seen him once make a mistake or a misplay. It wasn't even a mistake; it was a misplay. And the whole year, like, yeah,
I mean,
because he sits there and I could just see he has his head on his head, and he's like so focused on the board state, and he analyzes like every single option.
It's really good. It's definitely a page I should be taking out of the book because I go too fast sometimes. Obviously, we've already seen it too many times. It's gotten to the point
I think we're all guilty of that at some point.
But I seem to be a little bit too guilty, and it's gotten to the point now where I'm overly bothered by like the same mistakes that I keep making over and over again. You know. I also don't like to be in a position where I'm talking about things as if I know what I'm talking about, and then go in there. But you know what they say: those who can't do, teach. So
yes.
I'll accept my position in life.
Do as I say, not as I do, right? Yeah.
Well, that's it. I used to always say that to employees at work. I would always say, do as I say, but do as Phil does, because Phil would do good work. I had the good ideas, but Phil had the good execution. So
can you really get him to...
Yeah, so now I'm doing it. I just move, and then I cause us to fight. And I think it was at this point that Marco said he hates me, and he's selling all of his sorcery cards. And
may you find coal in your stockings this Christmas, right? Yeah,
as much coal. So what's also absurd about Lord of the Lies is for Death's Door, it's the same concept, right? I can just like go into your site with a blocker, cause a fight, and then now I'm free to attack you with something else, perhaps. Yeah, okay. I'm happy to just trade here because I mean I'm just trying to box. I mean he's at the door. I'm trying to box him in, so even my savior can move up. I have been losing life for the thumb screws, but again I'm so far ahead that I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I think at this point it's irrelevant.
And yeah, wherever he plays the Hema Golem, I can just cause a fight and. Yeah. So definitely, Savior and Lord of the Lies is things you really don't want to see your opponent having when you run out of cards, right? So I think we even talked about Key to the City while we were opening our packs, suggesting that probably it's not a good idea to play it because it will just dump your hand, right? Like that extra mana is great, but it empties your hand, and then it's like once you empty your hand and your avatar doesn't generate card advantage, you're stuck at top deck. And
but I tend to do that when I play like a lot of cores. I want to make sure that, or anything that like stone cores, whatever you have it, that I'm generating card draw from other cards, like Apprentice Wizard, Grandmaster, Pact with the Devil, something that's gonna generate me cards, because obviously if I'm gonna play a card that doesn't really do much other than provide mana, I need to generate card draw.
Yes, 100%.
So I think in this event, unfortunately, it didn't serve him well, especially with the fact that he already had the Harbinger dealing or costing 1 less. I think probably could have been better used as a minion.
Also, he didn't even utilize the avatar's ability, right? He played nothing in 5, 10, and 17. Like he had no Void Walkers, and I obviously didn't play any sites there, so he couldn't actually utilize his ability.
But I mean, this being played one day after Gothic's release, I mean, everyone, and I'm still hyped, and just like there's so many decks to build, a lot of sleeves.
I think I'm at 9 decks on Curiosa right now.
I think I have 4 or 5 actually built, sleeved, and then I think I'm building another 3 more at least. So
I'm trying to approach this a little bit differently than beta, where I don't just have 15 decks sleeved and full of proxies, because I'm not buying 18 uniques, right? But I think I'm approaching it differently this time, where we're gonna have my decks built on Curiosa, and then sleeve the 3 or 4 that I can actually play in a night, and then
like, comment, and subscribe.
Subscribe if you're interested.
See you in the next one.
Yep.